I used to think copywriting was just about writing. Today, I learned that's why most copywriters fail. Here is what I learned today from Digital Launchpad that completely flipped how I think about writing words that sell. So today I went through 2 modules in a Digital Launchpad course called Pen to Profit, and I learned a couple of things that I want to share with you guys and provide some value for you guys, so that this might even help you, stuff like that. So let's get straight into it. So this is what's called the chef and cook analogy. This analogy is basically the difference between the cooks vs the chefs. So similarly to copywriting, the cook is a good copywriter and the chef is a world-class copywriter. So early on, we all start as a cook, but to get great, we have to evolve. In copywriting, how does the chef and cook analogy, apply to the copywriting space and all? So in copywriting, that means that as a cook, you follow scripts and you follow the proven frameworks. I can call it proven frameworks and structures. You follow those structures and you write your own copy. Same as a cook that follows recipe and makes good food. So that is what a cook mean in copywriting. And as for the chef, they create their own structure and framework because they understand the game so well. They understand the pain, the audience, how to make use of all of this information. And that's how they can create the framework. And same as the chef, they know the ingredients so well. They understand the ingredients so well that they can create, they can freely create their own recipe that it would taste amazing. So that is the similarity with the cook and the chef and the copywriting. That is the similarity that they have from the cook vs the chef and a good copywriter vs a world-class copywriter. So that is something really cool that I learned today from Digital Launchpad. And secondly, what I learned was the AIDA copywriting process. So here, what is the AIDA copywriting process? So real quickly, AIDA means attention, interest, desire, and action. So that is basically what AIDA means. So when you're writing your copy, you have to follow attention, interest, desire, and action, blah blah, all this kind of stuff, for your copy to trigger the emotions of your audience. So yeah, that is what it is. And one very, very important thing is your first few lines, because on the first few lines is where you actually hook your audience. It's actually where you get them to stop scrolling, or you get, if it's a VSL, or you get them to click on your email if you're writing your email copy. So the first few lines is very, very important because it grabs your audience attention, and that is your lead. Your lead is very, very important, so keep that in mind. So I will give you guys an example of a strong versus a bad hook, a weak hook. Today I learned some cool stuff about copywriting. I'm going to talk about it in this video. And vs a strong hook, today I realized I've been writing copy like a cook. Just follow a recipe, and that's exactly why it wasn't working. Sorry. The next thing that I learned is something called the pyramid of belief plus duality. So the next thing I've learned in the Digital Launchpad is the pyramid of belief. So what is the pyramid of belief? The pyramid of belief is the people live in this belief bubble that if your message doesn't match their worldview and their belief, they don't listen to you. So they just ignore it if it doesn't match how they think. Yeah, they just ignore it if it doesn't align with their belief. So your job as a copywriter, you want to validate their current beliefs, their internal beliefs, and you want to pivot into a new truth, which then creates an aha moment for them, which sells. Try to tie this into emotion, where you're not just selling logic, you're selling emotion. So yeah, I hope you guys find the entire short video. It's a really short video, valuable and stuff. So yeah, this is what I've learned in Pen to Profit recently today, and I realized that I've been in copywriting for I've been in for 12 days. Honestly, 12 days. It might not be much, but I realized that copywriting isn't about just writing. It's about actually understanding how people think and challenge their thinking and emotions, which is our job as a copywriter. And yeah, I mean, I still have a long way to go, and I'm really seeing like how all this is gonna apply and help me in my future and the things that I do. And it's amazing how much I've learned already. As day 12, nothing much, but day one I know nothing about copywriting. So I hope this video helped to understand more and learned how copywriting works and stuff like that. So let me just read off the script of my YouTube video. I'm gonna be pretty frank. I have a script in front of me. So that's basically it for today's video. Day 12, I know it's a little bit different from some of my other videos, but like my other videos is like basically a day in the life. But I just want to give some value about everything I've learned so that I can help out some of you guys as well. So yeah, my advice is really not the best of the best. So like I'm just sharing what I've learned today. So you want to take it or not is your call. So if you are learning skills and just building and starting your entrepreneurship and you're a copywriter, I don't know, you're an entrepreneur, you're agency owner or whatever, I'm here, doing the same thing as you guys. So yep, you guys are not alone. And yep, make sure you guys to follow my entire journey. Today's day 12 and I still have about 18 days to go. So see you guys, very exciting things. Peace out.